hello. I'm back. After another gap. Lots to talk about. Lots to discuss. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Courtesy Call, the podcast where I rant about politics, world affairs, and societal issues. I am your host, Scott Ferry, and it is Sunday, April 10th, 2022. And yes, we are back from another delay. I apologize for skipping last week. We have been going through a lot of stuff here at Courtesy Call. As we're going through some scheduling conflicts. I'm going through some scheduling conflicts with different things, with other events and commitments and such, and projects and newly other things being introduced and such. So that I'll discuss later in the episode about later. And like I said, engaging in some other events. And the other events I may be engaging in may result in another delay. It actually may result in Courtesy Call potentially taking a hiatus earlier than anticipated. That's right. Going through some other events, other things, scheduling conflicts and other things, and new things being introduced. So with that, knowing that, there's a good chance that Courtesy Call may take a hiatus earlier than anticipated. So, but again, I'll talk all about that later. This will be another modified episode for those who did not listen to the previous episode or don't remember from the previous episode. Modified episode, I just take what I've been doing for like 50 plus episodes and just break it down and shorten it. And it's just condensed. It's condensed to save time, so you guys get the gist. I'm not going over the same thing over and over, and allows you guys to enjoy more of your day. For those who want to listen to each episode of Courtesy Call, I want to listen to this episode of Courtesy Call, and it just it doesn't take up so much time overall. So this is another modified episode. So let's get right to it. Let's dip right into the headlines of what's going on. So since the last episode, it was episode 52, right? Because I think this is episode 53. If I'm not mistaken. I think this is episode 53. So episode 52, which was like 2 weeks ago. All right, before I took a hiatus, maybe 3 weeks ago, I think. I have no idea. All I know is it's been a while. I ran a road race since then. I've been taking on some other tasks. And a lot has happened in, I've also been moving my schedule around and had some conflicts. But no, most importantly, I was going to say for this episode, so there's been a lot going on in the headlines. A lot going on in the news, okay? Some things have changed. First of all, we'll talk about the Oscar, or the Oscars. That's right. It was the Oscars. The big moment in the Oscars, the controversial slap, as I would say. It just didn't hit the entertainment news. It also spread across from national news and mainstream news overall. And a lot of places were just talking about it because it was so shocking. For those who have missed it and live underneath a rock, Chris Rock got slapped by Will Smith at the Oscars for allegedly, for saying something about Jada Pinkett Smith. Now, for those who may not know the background, so I guess Will Smith's wife, Jada Pinkett Smith, has some hair condition where she can't grow hair, where she stays bald. And Chris Rock, he's been a comedian for years. He's made fun of a lot of people. He said a lot of things, and he jokes around, and he kind of approaches the line a bit. Sometimes he has crossed it, okay? But apparently, at the Oscars, he really crossed it with Will Smith, because he ended up making a joke about, I guess, Jada Pinkett Smith being casted on G.I. Jane, or he's looking forward to seeing her in a new G.I. Jane movie or something. And Will Smith took it as he was making fun of her hair or making fun of her hair condition. So that's why he got a little rough around the edges or got a little bent out of shape. Decided to walk up on stage and slap Chris Rock right in the face, which the urban media was in full support of. I mean, first of all, it shocked all of us. Jaws dropped. People stopped for a bit and was like, what just happened? Like, they had to do a double take on that. They had to double check. They'd be like, did Will Smith really slap Chris Rock in the cheek or in the face? Did he really do that? You know, because we've never seen anything like that. We've seen jokes and skits before at the Oscars, but never like that. You know, not an actual deliberate, real, like an actual assault taking place at the Oscars. That was interesting. That we've seen on camera, at least. That we've seen on camera. Probably people assaulted each other many times in history, you know, behind the scenes and behind the cameras and such. But no, in front of the cameras, I mean, that was shocking. And again, I understand, like, knowing the background of Jada Pinkett Smith, knowing that she has that hair condition, and people poking any kind of fun of that can make anybody feel uneasy and people feel a little irritable, you know, a little upset, very upset and pissed off. But to go up on stage and assault the host or one of the hosts or one of the presenters, I think Chris Rock was just a presenter. He wasn't the host, because I think it was Amy Schumer and Wanda Sykes and the other lady. I forget her name. I don't think it was Jennifer Hudson. But no, but anyway, to assault anybody at the Oscars, to go up and insult Chris Rock like that, yeah, that's uncalled for. I don't care. That's uncalled for. Even if, like, Chris Rock was in the wrong, two wrongs do not make a right. Just because, you know, I mean, and like I said, you have to, like, think, like, Chris Rock, that's how he normally is. That's how he normally jokes. He most likely didn't mean anything by it. He wasn't really looking to harm anybody. He was just, you know, he was just making a joke. And yes, maybe he could have backed off from that. He could have. But, I mean, I think slapping him in the face, assaulting him like that, that's uncalled for. I think that's ridiculous. And I think, you know, the consequences that followed, if you haven't paid attention to the media, Will Smith is banned from the Oscars and Grammys or other award ceremonies, I think. He's banned from the Academy for, I think I read, like 10 years. Oof. It's a little bit, I would say 10 years is a little bit long. It's not like he, like, beat the crap out of Chris Rock. It's not like he, like, assaulted him multiple times. He only slapped him once. And then, yeah. So 10 years is harsh, but for him to be banned by the Academy, I agree with that. I agree. I think you assault someone regardless if they made fun of anybody or not. I mean, it's not like he hit someone. It's not like he was throwing punches at Will Smith. To assault Chris Rock, to assault anybody, should come with consequences. You know, two wrongs do not make a right. And like I said, the urban media is like, oh, well, that's harsh. That's ridiculous. That's stupid. Will Smith, you know, had every right to hit Chris Rock. He should have hit Chris Rock. It was great. It was awesome. It should have. You know, they're praising an assault. They're praising another wrong being made. They believe two wrongs do make a right, and they don't. They just add fuel to the fire, because how are you any better? If someone let's say Chris Rock was making fun of Jada Pinkett Smith. Let's say he was, like, on purpose to be hurtful, hurtful, which I don't think Chris Rock was doing it to become hurtful. But if he was, even at that, just still assaulting him, there's uncalled for. We should not be egging on violence, and that's one of the things that's wrong with this world. One of the many things that's wrong with this world. So, all right, let's see. Let's move on to another portion of headlines. So, speaking of wrongs being made and absolute, like, uncalled for actions, of course, we're going to talk about the Russian war on Ukraine. So I recently read. So let's see if I'm caught up here. It's been a while. It's been a little bit. So my understanding, okay, we last left off, Russia was invading Ukraine, major assault on them, on all their some of their big cities out there, and President Biden visited there. made a big announcement saying that Putin cannot remain in power when he came back to the United States from spending about a week and a half in Europe. Maybe I don't know if it was that long, but it was a little bit. And week and a half in Europe. And then let's see. They're still putting. There was still dishing out a lot of damage to Ukraine, and still assaulting a lot of or still creating a lot of damage in Ukraine, doing a lot of damage in Ukraine, and and then I think let's see what last left off. So they did a lot of damage in Ukraine, and then there was and then I think I read something where Putin was thinking about maybe retracting his plan. I mean, it wasn't going according to plan. Russia's assault on Ukraine wasn't going according to plan. But I think he said he was looking to back off, or looking to reduce the plan of continuing the assault on Ukraine. And then now I'm reading that there was an 8-mile long Russian convoy that was spotted in eastern Ukraine, looking to. I mean, they were heading towards Kiev, and then they were looking to plan a major assault. So yeah, last left off, the president came back after spending a week and a half in I think it was Poland, in Europe, and then comes back. Putin should not remain in power, and Russia was still, assaulting Ukraine in this much unneeded war, and then after that, he I guess he was pulling back, saying that this is that it wasn't going according to plan. It was too damaging for Russia. That they're going to reduce their assault plans and their attack plans, and they're going to back off a bit. That's what I read. And then now, like I said, I saw on CNN that there was an 8-mile long Russian convoy spotted in eastern Ukraine, looking like they're planning to commit a major assault again. So we'll see what happens with that. And like I said, this is a much unneeded war. It was as much unneeded from the beginning. I mean, Ukraine wasn't showing any signs of wanting war. It's just Russia is a bunch of bullies. So, bunch of bullies indeed. So we'll see what happens with that, and something has to be done. Like I said last episode, I agree Putin is a bully, and he must not remain in power. And I said, well, what happened of that? Nothing much has happened at that point. But yeah, I mean, it looks like that Russia's not backing off, and we'll see. We'll see. Either way, that we got to keep supporting Ukraine. We have to keep pushing to help them. We also have got to do something about Putin, make sure he doesn't remain in power, make sure he can't continue to do this stuff, and we must stop Russia. We must help them stop Russia and push for Ukraine to end this nonsense. And like I said, this much unneeded war with Russia. To push them out. That'd be great. So we'll see what happens. All right, moving on. So they say the war on Ukraine is actually causing a lot of issues around the world, right? A lot of problems, a lot of money, a lot of trade. And I believe I heard that the Russian war was one of the things blamed on why our gas prices are so high. That's another issue going on. And it's mainly aimed, I don't think it's just our country. I think there's other countries suffering from lack of fuel, but I think it's mainly us here in the United States that it's affecting the most. I did read an article the other day that there's an investigation being underway that to see if the gas prices being raised is legitimate. If like obviously you can see at the gas pumps the gas prices are raised, but if it was needed, if it was justified for having the gas prices so high, if it's justified, and it's absolutely 110% not, from what I'm reading. They're saying that markets are actually, some markets and some organizations are raising it on purpose, and it has nothing to do with oil shortages. So everybody was told it was war in Ukraine, and it could be do with oil shortages. That's usually what we associate, like a lot of gas prices or prices in anything being jacked up. Is usually the shortage on the inventory, right? But I read somewhere that that oil may not be as scarce as we thought. It had nothing to do with shortage of oil, and may actually have something to do with corporate organizations just looking to raise it just to add non-needed capital gain. Just to take advantage of citizens, us American people, and the rest of the economy, to take advantage of things, in a very potentially illegal way. That's interesting. So if you're pissed off about Russia, but you're pissed off about the gas prices now, this must really ramp you up. Because I know a lot of us are suffering at the gas pump. A lot of us are. I know I am. Every time I pump gas, I'm like, oh my word, $30 here, $30 there, $30 there. But I'm only filling it maybe not even halfway. If I go full way, I'm like almost $70-$80 to fill my tank. And I don't have like a large SUV or like a van or like a truck or anything. I have a compact car, a basic compact car. So it's, so it's for like $80 to projected to be $80 to fill the thing is outrageous. That's outrageous and very clinching. So, yeah, and to read that it's potentially has nothing to do with oil shortage and just organizations taking advantage of people, that just really pisses me off. It should piss all of you off if this is true. Just to raise it just so they can put extra money in their pockets, and that's it. That would not set well, and would spark up protest and maybe even some riots. Riots, yeah. Unneeded and ridiculous, and there should be some accountability on that. So, yeah. So be careful at the pump. Pump what you need in your tank. Don't overdo it, and only go to places that you really need to go to. So modify your trips and don't go out as much, or find other alternative ways to travel that are cost effective, and try to spare your fuel. Don't go to the pump if you do not need to. Okay? Do not go to the pump if you do not need to. Okay. All right, we're going to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, I'm going to give you the latest updates on COVID-19, the vaccinations, as well as the headhunt. So don't go anywhere here on Courtesy Call.
Morning. Can I have a coffee, please?
We can do better than that. How about an acorn spiced latte?
No, thanks.
What about a nitro charcoal brew with dry ice?
Oh, no.
The charcoal purifies the soul.
Just a regular coffee is fine. Thank you.
Okay. Let's talk milks. We got okra milk, we have sloth milk, and then we have fresh unicorn milk. Only $12 extra. Isn't that right, Caliber?
Whoa. I'll just do half and half. And my coffee?
Okay, but first, Fomart.
Oh.
Ta-da!
Okay, you know what? This is ridiculous. I just want a coffee. I'm sorry.
Why does everyone leave us?
This Bud Light Seltzer Lemonade is packed with lemonade flavor.
Yeah, it even has more flavor than my grandma's lemonade.
She still lives here, right?
Yeah, it even has more flavor than grandma's lemonade.
Oh, no.
Guess her hearing is better than we thought.
New Bud Light Seltzer Lemonade. Packed with more flavor than Grandma's lemonade.
Every morning, I thought I had to make a choice. Do I use a toothpaste that whitens my teeth or one that's good for my teeth? Now I don't have to choose. My dentist told me about Crest Whitening Therapy, so I tried it.
From Crest 3D White comes whitening therapy. It's our best whitening technology. Plus, it has a fortifying formula to protect your enamel.
Now I get a whiter smile and healthy teeth all in one.
The 3D White collection from Crest. Healthy, beautiful smiles for life.
Oh, just one.
Jake from State Farm, it's the least I can do. You really did me a solid with that, Maya markdown on my insurance.
Here's the deal, Maya. State Farm offers everyone surprisingly great rates.
Right.
No, really, there are no markdowns, just great rates.
Pull around back in 20 minutes. I'll hook you up with the good parts.
When you want the real deal, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Welcome back, everyone, to Courtesy Call Podcast here on IPMNation.com. For those who are just joining us, before the break, I was first apologizing for another hiatus here with Courtesy Call. Explained why, is some events that have came about, some things that are, being moved around. My schedule's being filled up a little bit. It was... it's just had to rearrange and organize a lot of things. So it's definitely some scheduling conflicts. Going through some scheduling conflicts. But, we're going to sort it out and figure it out and, see if, if we're going to go at least till the end of the month to before we take a hiatus, or we may have to take a hiatus a little bit sooner than we, a little bit sooner because of... needing to make other further commitments and take care of other things and such. So stand by on that. And then I explained that this is another modified episode, by the way. Means that it's what other episodes were before, but condensed and shortened. So, we can all have more times in our day to do things and still listen to Courtesy Call. And so there's nothing being too stretched out. And, it's just... So I'm not going too long on things, so and just make sure things condensed and doesn't go as it's pretty much shortened. So it's like I said, not as long as other episodes. So for various reasons. So including, like I said, more time in your day, and plus you can take on other commitments, but also it's so. Not everything is so stretched out. So, anyway, I talked about that. I mentioned that. I also went into the updates on what's going on with the Russian war in Ukraine. Explained that before on last episode. It looked like Russia was still assaulting Ukraine, and then the president came back. Our wonderful President Biden came back and said that announced that Putin can no longer be in power. See what's going on with that. Not much has happened with that. Putin said that he was going to. Since then, he's going to retract from Ukraine and reduce the assault on Ukraine as it wasn't going according to plan. But then now we're seeing a convoy going into Kiev in Ukraine and plan on conducting potentially a major assault again on Ukraine. So let's talk about the gas prices, and it should piss you off to know that there's a possibility that these prices are raised for no reason other than capital gain, for corporate to make extra bucks in their pocket. And it has nothing to do with shortage of oil. So that must really piss you off. And then, that was pretty much it. I also talked about the Oscars, the slap on Chris Rock and Will Smith slapping Chris Rock, and how it was uncalled for, regardless if Chris Rock legitimately insulted Jada Pinkett Smith, which I don't think he did. I think he was just making a harmless joke that Will Smith took really too far, because no one else seemed to think it was too much. And then, how I think Will Smith deserves to be removed from the Academy. Maybe not 10 years, but, should be removed from the Academy as a consequence. One of the consequences. You can't just assault people as a retaliation for, whether you think things are insulting or whatnot, because you feel insulted doesn't mean you go and hit people. So. If you, so pretty much that was the gist. But if you have any questions or comments that pertain to anything that's discussed on this episode or previous episodes, feel free to reach out on both our Facebook and Twitter, which our Facebook is facebook.com/courtesycallpodcast. And our Twitter is at Courtesy Call for You. That's the @ symbol, Courtesy Call, the number 4, and uppercase letter U. And just let me know what you think, and if you have any questions, and I'll take a look this upcoming week, and we'll gather them up. And if there's another episode next week, I'll adjust them on next week's episode, which will be episode 54, which will be on Easter Sunday, which is next Sunday, April 17th, 2022, and that will be a 5 p.m. So you should be maybe just having Easter dinner at that point, or just finished Easter dinner. So it'll be a special Easter episode if we have another episode after this one. So we'll see. We'll see. So do it up, and I'll address them on that episode. So do it up. All right. So now it is time for me to give you the latest updates on COVID-19 and the vaccinations. So for those who have listened to previous episodes, you know that I usually pull them. I've pulled them like within 24 hours before the episode, but lately I've been doing it right on the same day. And that's what I'm doing right now. These numbers are pulled from earlier today. And I go by number of cases throughout the U.S., throughout the world, throughout the globe, worldwide, and here in the state of New Hampshire. Excuse me. Here in the Granite State, New Hampshire. So I go to the U.S., around the world, and then right here in the Granite State, New Hampshire. So that's the order. And then I go into the number of vaccinations that have been administered and how many of those people are considered fully vaccinated. So that's the format. So without further ado, here we go. So here in the United States, for our total number of cases, here in the United States, we have a total of 80,267,553 total cases here in the United States, with out of that number, very sad, very unfortunate, 983,708 total deaths. Very sad, very, very unfortunate. Around the globe, worldwide, we have a total of 498,260,608 total cases around the world, with out of that number, sadly, very unfortunate, 6,176,746 total deaths. Very sad, very, very unfortunate. Around here in the Granite State, New Hampshire, in the state of New Hampshire, we have a total of 303,755 total cases, with out of that number, very sad, very unfortunate, 2,458 total deaths. So very sad, very, very unfortunate. Cases are kind of gone up a bit, but it's expected. It was expected for months and months now, almost a year now. Now that people have been fully vaccinated and the CDC permitted, and scientists, health experts, the CDC have announced that if you're fully vaccinated, it has been known for a long time now. If you're fully vaccinated, you should be able to mingle around other people and be social. And with that, cases are naturally just going to rise because people are having human contact, and they're hanging out with other people, and they're congregating, doing activities, they're going to social events and social gatherings. So, and the virus is not going to be stopped by the vaccine. The vaccine does not cure the virus, first of all. The vaccine does not cure the virus, so the cases are going to go up. Now, what's important, it's not necessarily the number of cases per se. You have to look at these numbers and ask yourself, how many of these people are fully vaccinated? That's the number you should be looking at. And that's what I'm going to go into next. So, because the number of people who are vaccinated, you're fully protected if you're vaccinated, especially if you're boosted. It takes care of at least 90% to like 100% from being fully vaccinated to fully vaxxed and boosted. So that's why it's the most important point. So, and like I said, with that being said, Let's look at the number of vaccines or vaccinations that have been administered throughout the U.S., worldwide, and here in the Grand State of New Hampshire. So, without further ado, here we go. So, the number of vaccinations throughout the U.S. Okay. We have a total of 563,999,093 total doses have been administered here in the United States. Out of that number, there are 218,135,613 total people who are considered fully vaccinated. That's 218,135,613 people who are considered fully vaccinated, which brings it to 66.2% of the U.S. population. It's gone up. It's gone up by like 1% or 2%, but it has gone up, which is I'm happy about. In like 2 or 3 weeks, it's gone up a bit. And like I said before, it's the people who are looking to get their second dose. It's what's bringing it up. So that's good. That's good. Around the world, we're looking at 11,370,349,743 total doses have been administered around the world. Out of that number, there are 4,586,702,670 total people who are considered fully vaccinated. So, which brings it 59% of the world's population, over half. There we go. More than half of the world's population is considered fully vaccinated. Good job, guys. It took us about a year to get there, but good job. You know, it's an accomplishment either way. Glad to see it get there. Hoping we would have been there like 8 to 10 months ago, but you know, you got to be happy about it now because we can collect better data, more accurate data, and be able to really, get the effects. I think at this point we know the vaccine works. At this point we should know the vaccine works. It's just going to take a little bit longer to develop side effects, to come up with side effects and understand side effects and so forth and so forth. So, here in the Granite State, New Hampshire, we have a total of 2,494,933 total doses have been administered here in the Granite State. Without that number, there are 947,118 people who are considered fully vaccinated, which brings it to the state's population to 69.7% of the state's population is considered fully vaccinated. So pretty much almost at that 70. So we're definitely at herd immunity here in the Granite State and here in the U.S. and almost around the world. Almost around the world, we're getting there. Again, like I said before in previous episodes, it's people waiting to get the second dose. Look at the first dose. You have to wait like 3 weeks after your first dose to get your second dose. Right. So it may take like 2 or 3 weeks for the fully vaccinated numbers to go up. For the numbers to go up on the full, for a number of people who are fully vaccinated because they're waiting for that second dose. Now, what doesn't make any sense is getting only one dose and then not getting the second. And it's like you already had your initial dose. You should be fine with the second dose. Second dose ain't going to do anything to you. And then you got your booster, which your booster shouldn't worry about at all. At all, because all your booster is, it's half of a dose. Take one of those doses, cut it in half. That's what one dose is. I mean, that's what a booster is. Booster is 0.5. I think it's 0.5 of a dose. So it's like 0.5 is your one dose. And it's not 0.5 of one dose, and then you cut that, it's 2.5. So it's half of that one dose is your booster. So get yourself fully vaccinated. Be protected from the virus. If you're fully vaccinated, they say it covers 90 to 100% of the virus, the effects from the virus if you were to catch it, if you were to contract it. And if you transmit it, your loved ones, your friends and family, and your folks should be protected as well as long as they're fully vaccinated. So the vaccines do not cure COVID, but they definitely reduce the symptoms by a lot, more than 90%. 90%. So you're pretty much nearly fully protected if you are fully vaccinated. So it just makes sense to go out there and get yourselves fully vaxxed. If you're not, then I strongly suggest following health and safety guidelines and safety protocols given out by the CDC. Social distance. Don't participate in social gatherings. Don't hang out in large crowds, and don't go out in public or definitely take certain precautions. Wash your hands, social distance, and wear a mask. It's that simple. Just wear a mask and do that until you decide to get fully vaccinated or become fully vaccinated. Okay? If you only have one dose, still follow the guidelines. If you're fully vaxxed, then you can relax on the guidelines. If you're boosted, then do whatever you want. Go back to normal. Go back to normality. That's how it works. So, but get yourself fully protected, please. All right, moving forward. So now it is time for the headhunt segment. For those who haven't listened to previous episodes and don't know what the headhunt segment is, and probably you got a weird look on your face, like, what is that? The headhunt segment is where I go on social media outlets like Facebook or Twitter, mainly Facebook, and I go on major news networks' Facebook pages, anywhere from like CNN, MSNBC, or even local news station like WMUR News 9 here for the Granite State, and I look for articles that are posted where people have commented or questioned. Have you commented something that lacked substance, that lacked some intelligence, that I think that I could shed some light on, and definitely need my 2 cents worth added on to, or a question that I feel like hasn't been answered fully or at all, that I will do my best to answer to the accuracy, the most accurate possible. So, with that being said, let's get underway. So, first article I'm going to look up is going to be on CNN's Facebook page. I do trust CNN, for those who do not know. CNN is my one of my go-tos, because I think they're the most accurate and unbiased media news stations and channels out there, and news networks out there. They are the most unbiased. And people chuckle and think that's ridiculous, or call that not true, that they are biased, and that they're one-sided and yada yada. Then I think that you kind of have to open your eyes a bit. And I'm guessing that those people are people who listen to watch Fox News a lot. But you want to look at fake news? You want to see a prime example of fake news? Fox News, completely. There's only a couple of things I've seen be reported from Fox News that I'm like, okay, yeah, that's true. A lot of it is, as what our president would call, malarkey. So, but yeah, CNN has been very truthful, right down the middle. And as a centrist, I can add, I can vouch for that. I can definitely vouch for that. But here we go. So. See if there's anything that's let's see, is there what's going on? Anything anybody disagree with? Is there anybody that disagrees with anything? See, and here's the thing I mentioned on previous episodes, is that the recent previous episodes, is that there's a lot of people now who are starting to see the light now, and are starting to see the truth of things. And so there's a lot of people actually agreeing with a lot of stuff that I would agree with. And a lot of people agree with it, and I'm like, okay. Let's see. Yeah, I don't know if I'm seeing anything that. Yeah. Okay. Here we go. Okay, I think I might find one here. Just bear with me. All right. So I don't know. All right, I just want to say, yeah, okay, maybe not. I thought maybe I had one. So there's a lot of people out there that are against um, the confirmation of soon-to-be Justice Country Brown Jackson, and I don't know if I even have a disagreement here. Oh boy, this is crazy. Okay, here we go. I think I found one. I finally got one. It says here on CNN, it was posted yesterday. It was posted last night. It says U.S. Agricultural Secretary Tom Vilsack, who is fully vaccinated and boosted, said he had tested positive for COVID-19 and has mild symptoms. Okay, this is where I'm going to take both sides here. Okay, again, it says U.S. Agriculture Secretary Tim Vilsack, who is fully vaccinated and boosted, said he has tested positive for COVID-19 and has mild symptoms. Okay, I just got over this. I just talked about this. And so, okay, this has to do with the vaccine. And a person by the name of Wmur said, if you still think the vaccine works, then I don't know what to call you. Well, I would say call them knowledgeable, because the vaccine absolutely does work. I think, once again, there's still a percentage of you people out there who still think that the vaccine is curing COVID, that it's a cure for COVID. It is not. The vaccine, the COVID-19 vaccines, do not cure COVID. They weren't manufactured to cure COVID. Okay? They never were meant to. The CDC said so. And so did medical and health experts and the media and government have all said that the vaccine does not cure COVID. And that's what people are still thinking, that it cures it because it's called a vaccine, which it shouldn't be. And that's have to look on the other end of the stick, is that, these experts should be calling it the shot, should not be calling it a vaccine. Vaccines do cure things. They do cure sicknesses and illnesses and viruses and everything out there. Vaccines are meant to cure, but shots just suppress. It should be the COVID-19 shot. So is what it is. Because it was never meant to cure COVID. It only suppresses the symptoms. It makes sure if you were to contract it, you would experience low to moderate symptoms at the very, very most. Okay. And Vilsack looks like he's a much older man, probably in his 60s or 70s, I'm guessing. Could be wrong. I'm sorry, but. And so at that age, yeah, you're going to experience, probably mostly mild other than low, more to the mild side. So, because he's older. But it does not cure COVID. It only suppresses majority of the symptoms, like over 90% of the symptoms. So relax, people. Relax. Okay, so Muhad, I think you need to like look up your facts, look up your information first before jumping to conclusions and taking a guess. And if you don't believe me, just go look up the facts online. Don't look up like horse crap media articles. Go look at the facts. So, all right. Let's see. We're going to go on WMUR News 9. It's Facebook page. For those who do not know who WMUR News 9 is, for those who live here in the Granite State, it's our local news source that we usually get. Usually people here in the state of New Hampshire will look up, and we usually get our local news from. But sometimes we'll get our national news. Sometimes they'll report national headlines as well. So, yes. So we'll get in there. So. Trying to find again. Here we go. No comments. Wow, nobody's really commenting on WMUR. MUR. All right, so here's nothing that's really a disagreement. There's something I want to add that I need to gripe about because I'm just I disagree like majorly with this. So here's the thing. This has to do with this was posted yesterday, I think last night, and it says survey shows that roughly 16% of adults, has to do with cryptocurrency, by the way, like Bitcoin and Dogecoin and such. So surveys show that roughly 16% of adult Americans, or over 40 million people, have invested in cryptocurrencies. Here's the deal, okay? And here's my gripe about it. And the title says also, U.S. Treasury Secretary calls for crypto regulation to reduce risk and fraud. So here's the thing about like cryptocurrency. It's ridiculous, okay? It was first created by someone in Sweden who came with the idea to just pretty much influence people, which is that's the bright side of it. That's the brilliant side of it, and about him is that he managed to influence people. Okay, that is the bright side of him, is that he managed to influence a group of people, a large amount of people, to invest in something as bogus as cryptocurrency. Cryptocurrency is just made up. Okay. They say it's a real thing, and it's to start your own government. It's a protest to start your own currency because people don't want to get money fairly. They don't want to earn money the fair way and do it the right way. They rather just create their own currency and pass it around like it's the most common thing in the world. Here's the thing, though. Here's the thing when you make something so common. It doesn't have value. In order for something to have value, it can't be very common, can it? Like money, like the U.S. dollar is essentially, from what they say, what at one point was backed up by gold. I don't know if it still is or not, but it's supposed to be backed up by gold. Gold is not common. It's not common to get gold. That's why it's so valuable. You can have certain portions of gold here and there, but to get like gold, I mean, it's very rare overall. That's why it has value. You make something so common, it loses value. And if it possesses something that somebody wants or large people want, then it has value. Bitcoin, still 16%, very low. 40 million people, very low overall. But the cryptocurrency, it's bogus. It's not regulated. It can add a lot of fraud to it. There's a lot of loopholes to it. You can blame it on the government, but either way, just how it's designed is going to have a lot of loopholes. The U.S. dollar is still too big, and our monetary system is still so dominant that Bitcoin is like a small flea to like a boulder, to like a rock, a huge rock. So it's ridiculous to invest. And these people who are buying and investing in cryptocurrency, it's nothing more. I can't see it being actual something to help you. I think it's more like tantrum driven, right? More of like, I'm sick of this. I'm sick of the way the government's run. I'm sick of not making much money. I'm sick of all this and that, which is like a common issue amongst us adults. But, you know, it's like people really throwing a temper tantrum and protesting, saying, that's it. I'm done with the government system. We're going to do something that's not government regulated, which is dangerous because you're not going to get much sources. And you could be urban underground as much as you want. But here's the thing. Here's the thing that you risk. Lack of education, lack of discipline, lack of fair system. And if you have someone who's not educated running this thing, or doesn't have much education, does not see the big picture, invest in the big picture, as they say, of how things work and how things run, that it's not going to work. That person's not going to have the intelligence to keep it going. There's going to be a lot of loopholes, a lot of issues arising, a lot of things getting in the way, and they're going to blame everybody else but themselves. And it's like, until you have a full education on everything, you're doing this is senseless. Don't invest in cryptocurrency, okay? Don't. It's dumb. It's a dumb move. And this gentleman by the name of Spencer, this man by the name of Spencer, commented underneath. He's like, they need to get every penny. They need to get every penny. No, they don't. No, they don't. Save your money. Just spend it the regular way. You know, I know prices are going up, but the government will eventually take care of everything. You know, things will start to move up again. They have to. Anybody who studied the economy or an economist would know that that it will go up. It will go up again. The economy will get back to being healthy again. It will. It can't stay in one state. It has to fluctuate. So in order to be healthy and do things properly, it has to fluctuate. So it's just people are so sensitive and way too entitled that they can't handle just a little downside. So, but don't invest in cryptocurrency. And that's part of what's hurting the economy, is that people are putting their money elsewhere into something senseless other than putting it into the system and keeping it thriving. So if you argue with me, just go and get yourself an education. That's all I have to say. All right. Well, we're going to take that's the end of the Headhunt segment, by the way. That wraps up the Headhunt segment. If you have any questions or comments about this topic or other topics or other episodes, again, feel free to reach out on both our Facebook and Twitter, which Facebook is facebook.com/Courtesy Call Podcast. And our Twitter is @Courtesy Call for you. That's the @ Courtesy Call, the number 4, and uppercase letter U. We're going to take a quick and last commercial break of the episode. Commercial break. When we come back, it is going to be the 2 societal topics of my choice. So still more to come here on Courtesy Call.
Coming in to get a deal that includes existing customers. He's probably 5'8", but we'll give him an even 6'1". It's this guy!
Wait. Did I just hear existing customers can get a deal?
Yep, at AT&T, new and existing customers get our best deal on all smartphones.
That's pretty great. You think I look 6 foot?
I sure do. Kind of.
It's not complicated. Only AT&T gives new and existing customers the same great deals on all smartphones. Get up to $800 off our latest 5G smartphones.
Tasha, did you know Geico could save you hundreds on car insurance and a whole lot more? So what are you waiting for? Hip-hop group tag team to help you plan dessert?
Fresh vanilla, rocky road, chocolate peanut butter cookie dough. Scoop this, scoop this, scoop this, scoop this, scoop shakalaka, 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 shaka, scoop shakalaka, shakalaka, shakalaka.
Geico. Switch today and see all the ways you could save.
Oh my, with Chase Freedom Unlimited, I earn all this cash back? Oh, I gotta tell everyone. Hey Rita, you can earn 3% on dining, including takeout.
Bon appetit.
Hey Kim, you earn 5% on travel purchase through Chase.
Way ahead of you.
Hey Neil, you can earn 3% at drugstores.
Buddy, I'm right here. Why are you yelling?
Because that's what I do. You're always earning with 5% cash back on travel purchase through Chase. 3% at drugstores, 3% on dining, including takeout, and 1.5% on everything else you buy. Chase, make more of what's yours.
Building a better bank starts with looking at something old and saying, really? So Capital One is building something completely new. Capital One Cafes. Inviting places with people here to help you, not sell you. And savings and checking accounts with no fees or minimums, because that's how it should be. You can open one from right here or anywhere in 5 minutes. Seriously, 5 minutes. This is banking reimagined. What's in your wallet?
The greatest stories don't have to end.
If we do this, we're gonna do it our own way.
They can expand, evolve, connect each generation to the next. The stories continue. Only on Disney Plus.
Welcome back, everyone, to Courtesy Call Podcast here on IPMNation.com. For those who are just joining us before the break, I went into the latest updates on COVID-19 and the vaccinations, and went into details about that, and urged everyone to get fully vaccinated. And so if you got yourself the first shot, it makes sense to get the second shot and get boosted, as the booster is only half of one dose. If you did the first dose, you might as well get the second one. And if you got two doses, both doses, you might as well get boosted, because it's only half of one of those doses. So if you're not fully vaccinated, please follow health and safety guidelines, such as not going out in public, not participating in social gatherings, and wear a mask. So, and numbers are going up for cases, but that's because people are hanging out more and congregating and participating in social events. As we know, it's been going on for about a year now, as the CDC and medical and health experts have both said that it's okay to do if you're fully vaccinated. So naturally going to go up, but the number you should really look at is how many people are fully vaccinated. If you're fully vaccinated, it'll protect you up to over like about 90%, a little more than 90%, and then percent, and then there's and if you're boosted, it's about almost 100%. You're almost 100% protected. So do it up. Get yourself boosted. Get yourself fully vaccinated and boosted. I also went into the headhunt segment and talked about that. Griped about a few articles here and there. About some things I disagreed with and such. And, congratulate Miss Country Brown Jackson for becoming nomination confirmed to the Supreme Court. Also talked about, people investing in cryptocurrency, which I think is senseless and stupid. Not a smart decision. I explained why and all that. Anyway, if any of you have any questions or comments that pertain to anything discussed in this episode or previous episode, feel free to, again, reach out on both our Facebook and Twitter, which is facebook.com/Courtesy Call Podcast, and our Twitter is @CourtesyCall4U. That's the @ Courtesy Call, the number 4, and uppercase letter U. Let me know what you think. And if there is another episode next week, for episode 54, I will address it on next week's episode, which will be Easter Sunday. It'll be Easter, which will be Sunday, April 17th, 2022, and will air at 5 p.m. if there is. So I'll keep you guys posted. So something I forgot to do earlier in this episode, I was supposed to do, was plug local businesses, which I usually do on every episode. I plug the same local businesses that could use your help and use your business, as they've been affected by COVID-19 and or by the economy collapsing, the economy going through a lot of issues right now, and other reasons. So, and these are also some businesses that didn't have an ad available to make it through the commercial rotation. So anyway, without further ado, here we go. Let's plug some local businesses. So, all right, first let's see. So Moe's Italian Subs. Here we go. Moe's Italian Subs, making the original since 1959, with locations all over the Granite State, including one in Dover, one in Portsmouth, and one here in Concord, New Hampshire, on South Main Street. D Designs. For those looking to get artwork done for either their website or business logo, feel free to contact Danielle Festa Keefe at dgraphicsnh.com. That is dgraphicsnh.com. Danielle Festa-Keefe is not only a wonderful graphic art designer, but she's a very talented painter, and she'll like you to enjoy her artwork from the comfort of your own home. She has a virtual reality art gallery that she developed last year or two for people who still don't feel comfortable going out in public and going to actual physical art galleries. They can check it out from the comfort of their own home by going on to D-Design's website or Danielle Festa-Keefe's personal Facebook page, clicking on a link, registering, like you would any program or event like that online, and you'd be greeted and entered into a VR room where you can navigate through a little art gallery and check out artwork pieces that she has done herself, that she has done and uploaded into the program, into the portal, which is pretty cool. Shows how far technology has come, and you can enjoy it without going out in public. So again, check out the VR gallery, and again, show some support and feel free to contact Danielle Festa-Keefe. That is dgraphicsnh.com. Crawl Space Audio. If you're looking to do any audio projects such as podcast, or you're a musician, you're looking to record your work, feel free to contact Dave Swillem at 603-275-2020. That is 603-275-2020. The Cake Ferry Bakery, located at 110 Old Londonderry Turnpike Road in Hooksett, New Hampshire. They're a wonderful bakery that serves wonderful baked goods anywhere from like cannolis, pies, cupcakes, dessert logs, and other baked novelties. But what they're best known for is their eclairs. Their eclairs are amazing. They have wonderful good size with wonderful, not too sweet custard cream, wonderful ganache, made with an impressive ganache. Like I said, the custard inside is not too sweet. It's nice and buttery and creamy, what you would want from an eclair. And yeah, they're just amazing. If you think eclairs are okay, this place will change your mind. They make amazing, like the best. So again, that is the Cake Ferry Bakery, located at 110 Old Londonderry Turnpike Road in Hooksett, New Hampshire. And it's next to the UTZ Chips and the candy store. Speaking of bakeries, Clem's Bakery, located at 29 Indian Rock Road in Windham, New Hampshire. They also serve wonderful baked goods, such as pies, cakes, cannolis, dessert logs, and even eclairs, and other baked novelties. But in my opinion, their best baked goods are their donuts. They're known for their donuts. If you like freshly baked, wonderful, warm donuts, you're going to love this place. They bake them fresh every day. They have all the traditional kinds, such as glazed, old-fashioned, chocolate frosted, strawberry frosted, jelly filled, and even the wonderful, amazing Boston cream a lot of people love. But their best kind of donuts, in my opinion, is both their vanilla and chocolate cream filled. They're not chocolate and vanilla cream together. It's one set of vanilla cream and another set of chocolate cream. It's nice, freshly baked yeast shell, freshly baked filled shell that they cut in half, and then they add their homemade buttery and a little bit of sweet vanilla cream and chocolate cream inside. So it's absolutely amazing, and it's hard to resist. So again, that is Clem's Bakery, which is KLEMMS Bakery, located at 29 Indian Rock Road in Windham, New Hampshire. Give these businesses support, give everyone support, and help them during the impact that they've suffered in the past year or two. So show your support for local businesses. Absolutely. Absolutely. All right. Well, now it is time for the 2 societal topics of my choice. So in the past, I usually give a review on what's going on in today's society. And I think are big issues in today's society. What's really the core reason, what's starting up all these issues that are going on in the world amongst society and such. And in the U.S. or even locally, all these issues that need to be addressed, I will talk about, and I give my 2 cents worth. So it's usually when I have fun, because I really get opinionated here. And I really believe that a lot of stuff that I share has a lot of value to it. And if people were to listen to it and not look at it as noise, but look at it as actual valuable information and advice, then I think that they could take that in and possibly change maybe their ways or help educate someone else to change their ways to help society become a better place, to help society become better and a lot more valued, other than a wreck that has become for quite some time now. So yeah, that was my hopes. That's the point of the societal topics of my choice. And I usually pick off a review to give a review of past topics that have occurred that I think still need to be talked about and griped about, because it's just not doing anything. Now, I don't expect people to listen. I don't expect a lot of people to listen to this episode. I'm thankful for anybody who listens to Courtesy Call. Very thankful. But I mean, I don't expect like the listeners to go out and start changing their ways right away. And even at that, I don't expect things to change within like a couple days to a week, a month, or even maybe a year. I think it could take longer than just maybe a year or two for things to actually start to change. But this is the seed that's getting planted, and this is the start of trying to put effort towards making that change. So that's what I believe. So without further ado, before I go into the two societal topics of my choice, I want to give that review. A small review on some previous topics that I have talked about a lot about, and that's first of all, piss poor driving still happening. It has reduced a lot. I've noticed that drivers are now driving slower and being more mindful of the speed limit. There's still some that are kind of violating it, but there are a lot of them out there that are still within the speed limit. That is good to see. Now, I'm not saying it's because of Courtesy Call. I mean, I'll be extremely humbled and flattered, but realistically, it's probably because they were either involved in an accident or knew someone that was, or just educated on what's going on the road. Got sick and tired of seeing accidents everywhere and being stopped in traffic because of it, because people don't know how to drive. So it could be mainly that, and not really Courtesy Call doing much. I mean, maybe a little bit would be great. Maybe Courtesy Call did a little bit of it, but I don't know. I'm not pulling too much stuff to that or whatnot. But no, I think that people are just naturally sick of just seeing car accidents and getting through accidents and having to be back up traffic and everything because of it. So they're learning to drive more cautiously and safely. So parenting is still crap. I think parents are maybe taking a little bit more note to get involved with their children and to start parenting the right way and start caring about their children more. I mean, I still see a lot of bad parents out there in supermarkets and other stores and other places out there. And just to remind all parents out there that your children are your responsibility. How society, what depicts society in the future and how society functions in the future is really dependable on how you raise your kids. Since, the kids are the future, they are, and they are the ones that are going to project what you teach them. If you teach them nothing, guess what they're going to learn? Almost nothing. They're going to go out there and not be knowledgeable on a lot of things and not use their head on a lot of things and cause more problems for other people. Some people may argue and be like, well, why does my parenting have anything to do with you? Well, let me walk you through it. Let me walk you through why your parenting, whether it's good or bad, affects other people. You teach your kid not to have manners and to sneeze everywhere, not cover their mouth when they cough, like just a basic precaution. They cough out in the grocery store and get all over people. People usually pick food, right? And they try washing it off. Not many people know how to properly wash food off or wash fruit off properly. But like the fact that people just sneezing and coughing on someone, that can get people sick. That person has to call out of work because they're sick. And now they lose money because your child didn't learn how to cover their mouth and how to use proper etiquette while out in public. That's one of the reasons. Also, if your child does not know how to drive, and this is going to tie back into piss poor driving out there. If you don't teach your child to drive, or your child does not know how to drive, that your child could ram into someone else because they're not paying attention to the road, or don't know how to make a proper turn, or are not patient to wait for a stop sign, wait for people to go by before leaving the stop sign. And it could T-bone someone, and it could hurt someone, majorly. So that's another reason how your piss poor parenting could affect other people, right? Your parenting does, it does grab attention and should be corrected. So please, for society's well-being, and so I can go to a store and get help and not have to wait a long time because someone can't figure out what 1 + 1 is, or I can't go anywhere because I have somebody blocking my way because they didn't know proper etiquette because they weren't taught that, or they were taught to be ignorant. I don't have to deal with that because you decided to treat you did not teach your kids much, and your parenting was crap. Okay? So please, parent your children. All right, so let's get into the 2 societal topics of my choice. Okay, so let's get to the first one. Now, this first one I've talked to a little bit before, and this one is, this one is kind of something I've experienced recently, and it can go either way. This one is about management. Now, I've talked about business management in the past. Now I'm going to talk about accountability in management. In other words, holding your subordinates accountable for their actions and holding yourself accountable for your own actions. That M word, I believe it's called maturity. That it should be not just within business or within your company or within the place of work. You should be displaying this outside of work, wherever you go, in general. Accountability is a big thing, and especially within the job. So let's say you're a supervisor, right? And you have subordinates, and your subordinates are not doing their job properly, okay? You got to hold them accountable. You have to discipline them and hold them accountable, or else how, especially this generation functions, if you don't hold them accountable, they don't know that they made a mistake. They're not going to learn from it. Holding people accountable is part of learning, part of teaching. It's part of making sure people are in the know so they can do the right thing and correct the behavior. If nobody's being held accountable, they're bound to repeat the same behavior. Holding someone accountable, it will jog their mind and add like a light bulb next time and be like, ooh, I better not do this. I better pay attention this time and do this the right way, because last time when I didn't, I was written up, I was given a warning, or I had a severe consequence because I didn't do this properly. Maybe I should do this the right way this time. That's what jogs in their memory. If something happens, it's going to impact you enough to remember next time. Now, if you don't hold subordinates accountable, and this goes for your parents as well, this can be like with a parenting thing too. If you don't hold any of your subordinates or children accountable, they're going to think, okay, well, I'm not going to be held accountable. I'm not going to be held accountable, and there's no consequences here. I could just continue to do it. There's no consequence. I could just keep being ignorant. I can keep causing problems. I can keep doing things the wrong way and that cause issues in the long run or in the short run. So it's like they don't feel the need to correct it because nothing happens to it. What's the point? They're not going to get consequenced. But if they do get consequenced, then it starts saying, okay, I did wrong. Wow, I don't want this consequence again. That was terrible. I better correct my way I do things now and do things better and actually do things the right way. So that's one aspect. Also, and if you're a manager, if you're a supervisor, manager, CEO, whatever, you got to look at the problem for your other subordinates. You got to really look at a situation and be true to that situation. Don't pick favorites. Don't pick one side. Favorites, they ruin a business model. They ruin the ethics of business. They ruin anything that's ethical. They ruin it in general. You can't pick favorites. You gotta you gotta be able to discipline those who you may favor. Let's just say you may favor a little bit, one worker, one subordinate over the other. Okay, you can't pick favorites. You have to discipline fairly. You have to do it fairly because that keeps things even. It keeps things healthy. It keeps both sides accountable, and both of them are on the same page. And there's no privilege. There's no overprivilege, which keeps things balanced. That's how you keep things balanced. You put one weight on the other side, but not on the other, it becomes imbalanced, right? It's like a scale. It becomes imbalanced. You do things evenly, it keeps things balanced. But if you borrow from one side, you have to borrow from the other side, and then you eventually got to replace the other side with the other side. You got to even it out so it becomes fair. The more things are balanced, the better and the better how much you can provide the well-being of your business. So don't imbalance your business, your company, or your subordinates. Don't imbalance anything. Keep things fair. And you really have to stick to the truth. If one thing happens to you, sometimes unfair things happen. Okay, they happen, but it's got to be like, things that are natural unfair, like. Let's say you promise a subordinate or your child that you would play ball with them, or that you would take them on a trip or bring them somewhere. But then something comes up at work, something actual legitimate comes up at work that you need to take care of, and there's no way around it. There's no way around it, and you have to take care of it on the spot. That's an unnatural. No, that's a natural unfair. That is unfair natural. That's a natural unfair, because it's something that just naturally happens because it's within you doing what you need to do and taking care of what you need to take care of, and things just happening like that you there's no way around it. So that's a natural. So you have to tell your subordinate or your child that there's no way they can do this. This isn't going to be able to happen. We can do it some other time. We'll do it another time where it's feasible, when you actually can do it and provide the time to do it. And then, and then you probably have a better chance of keeping your promise and keeping your word with your subordinate and with your child. Now, unnatural unfairness is something where you will give privilege to one subordinate but not the other, and that subordinate did not earn privilege. The subordinate that got the privilege did not earn it. That is unfair, okay? That is not looking into truth, not doing your research into truth, and being educated enough to know the truth. That is unnatural unfairness. And that is what's poisonous and toxic within the job system, within society today. So please, on both sides, be accountable, hold each other accountable. I understand you want to have one of another's back. I mean, I know there's some upper level managers who will have their, lower level managers, like a supervisor, there's back. They'll have each other's back. Managers will have each other's back. However, if one of your managers is doing their job wrong, they're being unfair, and they're not doing things the right way and keeping things unethical, then that's when you need to not have their back. I think it's unintelligent to say that you're going to have their back regardless. No. What if that subordinate, what if that manager is unfair, adds a lot of destructive behavior, and becomes very, aggressive, or, kind of does a lot of unethical things? I wouldn't have their back if I was a upper level manager. I would hold that manager accountable. I wouldn't have their back. You got to be fair. You have to steer towards fair, or it's just not going to work. And there's some companies out there that will argue that, and there's some managers that argue that, but they got to look at their company. You look at their company's management system is absolutely crap. It's crap, and it's uneven. And that's because they're doing exactly that. They're backing up people who are adding destruction to their company. And they're providing and promoting it. That's not what this company needs to be about. The company needs to change. And if your company is sinking down, there's a reason for it. It's not just the employees. It's not just the lower level tier subordinates. It's the upper level management you got to look at. The upper level management needs to step up their game and needs to do things the right way. Okay. All right, moving on. The last of the two societal topics of my choice we're going to talk about is rumors. Rumors. We've known about rumors since high school, maybe even before that. I think today we hear rumors in like elementary school, which is ridiculous. I'm like, really? Grow up a little bit before you have an opinion. That's my philosophy. Grow up a little bit before you have an opinion. But high school is the most popular time for me. I realized that I believe where rumors are most popular. Yeah, is high school. People are growing up, hormones are coming in, opinions are starting to grow a bit, and now you're worried about who's popular, who's not. You want to get your name out there. You want to do this, you want to do that. So you'll do anything it takes to damage someone's name. There's some people out there who are greedy and very unethical and very, as I call, douchey, and they'll step on people's toes to get ahead. They will do it the unfair way and the unnatural way. And that will cause problems for them down the road in the future. And as there's nothing healthy and there's no honor in stepping on people's toes and trying to get ahead on that way. But it's just not the good way to do things. Starting rumors and stepping on people's toes, it just causes more problems, causes more issues. Your job, if you really want to be successful, is to try to diffuse as many problems as possible and handle them the most natural way possible, as naturally as possible as you can. But rumors are toxic. Yes, in high school it's most popular, but this even goes on into like the adult world. I mean, adulthood. When you're in the workplace as an adult, there's tons of rumors. There's rumors that get started like so easily, so many of them. I could say somebody likes to eat a certain food or wear certain clothing, and it won't be true, but that could pass on and pass around the entire work environment within like not even a day, depending on your size of your work environment. I mean, if you work in a very small area, yeah, it can pass on within like a couple of minutes, but like for large areas, it can pass within a day. I mean, it can be passed around within a day, to the point where everybody knows it now. Everybody knows it. So, rumors are not healthy. Rumors can be, they're usually, sometimes there's some truth to them and they can be true. Yes, there's times it can be true, but there's a lot of times it's not true. It's a lot of times where someone's just trying to damage someone's name because they want to get ahead into things or become more popular, or looked at as the better person. They'll make fun of them. They'll say something that's completely untrue, and that they're very hurtful, to make themselves seem bigger. That doesn't help. That does not work. And for those who are receiving these rumors or like hearing these rumors, I urge you to do your due diligence and do your research on this person before believing such things. If I say like Joe Schmo, likes to lick water out of the toilet or something like that, whoever hears that rumor needs to go do research and be like, does he actually like to lick out of the toilet? Is this actually true? Do your research to find out if it's actually true. And you come to realize that a good amount of rumors are just rumors. They're not true at all. There's no truth to them. Don't do your own research. Don't take anyone else's word for it. Don't listen to anybody else's rumors. Do your own research and find out the truth for yourself before coming hard onto someone. And don't make fun of someone, especially if it's not true. Before like investing any thought or any belief into it, look to see if it's true first. Do your research, because you're going to look like the idiot if you believe in it and you promote it and it's not true. You're going to come across as a complete idiot and hurtful and looked at in a negative way. So, and to the person who's starting the rumors, they're going to eventually take the hot seat, and they'll suffer some consequences, because that's all rumors do, is just they're rumor. They just hurt. They're there to harm. Now, if a rumor is true, you shouldn't be spreading true things. That's a form of defamation, first of all, and slander. If you're trying to spread, information about someone that's negative, and try to promote someone in a negative way, and try to like throw their name out there, like so and so is not good at all with this, and I want everybody to know that they've done terrible this and terrible that, and looking to really crush their name, not to raise concern to have as like someone's behavior is alarming and you're looking to correct it and you want it to be known so it can be corrected. It's not that. It's like you're doing it just for the sole purpose of just hurting that person and not to be constructive with it at all and not to get any good out of it except for just harming that person. That is defamation. That's slander. That's illegal. That is a lawful offense. And that person who's starting these rumors and defamating someone's name and adding slander, those people should be definitely held accountable. Goes back to the previous topic. Accountability and management should be held accountable. Rumors should be debunked, looked into before people invest any belief into them and any thought into them. Find there's any truth. And the difference between just being constructive, unconstructive is the intent. To say this person's bad at this and not good at this and is like this and doesn't do this and is really terrible at this and terrible at that and is doing this and doing that that's bad. If your intent, you can do that. You can say those things. If your intent is to be constructive, meaning you're looking to correct this person's behavior, make it known to everyone that this person does these things so that it can be corrected, or to be known to these things so that way they might be able to change, or so that they could add support to help this person change. That is the constructive. That's what you got to do. But if you're looking just to throw out their name and looking to damage their name to just hurt them and that's it, not to help change their ways or change that, then that is defamation and that is slander. And that's a lawful offense, and they should be held accountable for whoever's starting that rumor and whoever's committing the slander, defamation and slander. So I urge people to grow up. Overall, to wrap this up, the subtle topics portion up, I urge people to be mature, to grow up, and to do the right thing, and to use their head and be knowledgeable. Last night, I happened to stumble upon an old movie, an old comical movie, an old comedy that a lot of people have probably seen. A movie called Idiocracy. People remember that one or have watched that one? And Idiocracy, it's pretty obvious why I bring that up, is because, well, after watching maybe 10 minutes, 15 minutes into the movie, I'm like, it's scary. It's scary just how accurate this is to today's society. It's so scary. I mean, there's some parts in the movie, a lot of parts in the movie where they blow things way out of proportion. Okay, way out of proportion. But there's a lot of parts in that movie, that are just scarily accurate. Scarily accurate. I mean, it is beyond accurate of how it correlates with today's society. If you haven't seen the movie Idiocracy, please, I urge you to see it, to watch it, just for the sole purpose of comparing it to today's society and whatnot. And if you think that this movie is normal and it's depicting a normal, healthy way of being in a regular, normal part of society, and there's nothing too weird about it, then guess what? You're one of them. And you know what I mean. You're one of them. Yes, I'm calling you an idiot. Because no part of that movie is really normal. Like 90% of that movie is just like beyond idiocy. And that's the point of the movie. That's why it's called Idiocracy. So watch it. And I really don't want us to get to that extreme to where society is entirely like how it is in that movie. Entirely like how it is in that movie. I don't want society to get to that point. Use your head. Smarten up. Get an education. And do the right thing. Okay? Okay. All right, everybody. Well, we have reached the end of the episode, or end of the topic, and the end of the episode. Yes. Reached the end of the episode. I want to thank IPM Nation's president and CEO, Matt Connerton, for giving us the spot. And, of course, all of you listeners for tuning in. If there is another episode next week or in the within this month or so, feel free to check it out whenever it is. I'll talk about whatever's going on in the headlines. I'll give more updates on COVID-19, the vaccinations, as well as a new headhunt segment, and 2 more societal topics of my choice. So, I hope everybody in the meantime kind of like looks at the Facebook page, because I will be posting stuff on the Facebook page. Keep you updated on when the next episode is. And if it is next week, it'll probably be it'll be on IPMNation.com, obviously, but it'll be available on Sunday, Easter, at 5 p.m. or another Sunday later down the road, or probably around 5 p.m. I'm not sure yet when it is. I'm not sure yet when it is. So, but I will keep you guys posted on our Facebook page. But in the meantime, I hope you guys take some of these advices that I've given, and take it in consideration and learn from them. And go about to have a stable part of society and world out there. Hope you guys are going to have fun, enjoy things. I know that tonight my bowling team has a matchup tonight, so we're going to be doing that, and we only have a few more weeks left before the end of bowling season, which will be the end of summer, which will be going to summer. We won't have any bowling until maybe the fall, so we'll be in the off season until the fall. So support Lane. So give it up. Hope Lane Crashers pulls it through tonight, and then Lane Crashers could start doing well from this point on, and hopefully end the season on a good note. So. No softball this summer, and plus I don't think there'll be much hockey. There'll be some hockey stuff. I don't know how much of that I'm going to be doing. We'll see. There's a lot of things that are on the docket between now and the next episode. But like I said, keep your guys' eyes peeled out for our Facebook page to see when the next episode will be. If it'll be next week or several weeks from now or months. So I'll keep you guys posted. So. In the meantime, also feel free to check out Matt Connerton's Matt Connerton Unleashed, which will be weekdays at 4 p.m. on 95.3 WMNH on Matt Connerton Live's Facebook page and right here on IPMNation.com. All right. Well, that being said, I hope you guys have a good one. On behalf of Courtesy Call Podcast, I am your host, Scott Perry. Be kind, be mindful, and do your part. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.